Yes, ma'am. We can start the session now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I welcome all the participants and faculty members in the 5-day faculty development program for STM professionals on advancing research methodology through scientific tools and artificial intelligence. I want to tell that this is the day second and the session 4. And the resource person is Dr. Upinder Kaur. So I would like to invite my co-host to introduce about the resource person of the session. So please, I request to Mr. Balwan, kindly welcome Dr. Upinder Kaur.
Thank you, Neha ma'am. Good afternoon to the session resource person Dr. Upinder Kaur and all the participants. Today in this session, again, Dr. Upinder Kaur is with us. I welcome Dr. Kaur ma'am on behalf of organizing team. Dr. Upinder Kaur is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science, Akal University, Bathinda, Punjab. She has received her PhD degree at Department of Computer Science and Application, Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. She is in teaching since October 2006. She holds the Master of Technology degree in Computer Science and Engineering from Mercy Markandeshwar University, Molana, Haryana. Her main research interests are in the areas of distributed computing, distributed data structure, cloud computing, data science and analytics, machine learning, support vector machines, stream analytics, deep learning, bio-inspired computing, etc. She has hands-on experience in big data analytics, data science, machine learning, Python, R, MATLAB, cloud sim simulators, etc. She has focused in the last few years on research issues in applications of deep learning in data science and analytics, cloud computing, biosignals. She has attended many national and international conferences, workshops, and she has more than 30 research papers in national, international journals and conferences. She is also a member of IEEE ACM and supervising 3 PhD scholars and several graduates and undergraduate students in multi-cloud domain and data science in agriculture and deep learning in biosignals. Now I would like to invite Dr. Kaur to enlighten us with their knowledge in the domain of machine learning in research. Ma'am, please. Kaur ma'am. Upinder Kaur ma'am.
Hello. Am
Yes,
I
ma'am.
audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
So just give me a
Audible.
minute. Thank you.
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I'm really glad and really honored for inviting me again for the second session.
Thank
And
you.
I would like to share my screen. So let's start the session. Okay. Sir, please confirm my screen is visible to us.
Visible, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so the topic for discussion today is the machine learning. So the tool I'm using for implementing this is the Python. So before starting with the hands-on session, let's understand the beginning session for the what is machine learning, why we need it. Sir, my screen is visible, my slide is going well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Visible.
first, before starting with the hands-on session, let's discuss brief about what is machine learning, why we require it, and what are the different types of machine learning, so that we can able to do and practice it on with the basic concepts. So machine learning is basically a programming computer to optimize the performance criteria using the example data or the past experience. Machine learning can automatically detect the patterns in the data and then use to uncover the patterns to predict the future data. Basically, this diagram shows us that, so here is the human learning, the way we are learning. We are observing the things, and by the observation, when we are experiencing the things, we get a new learning and we are developed accordingly. So similarly, in the machine learning, the machine is what it is, a computer, and the data that we have generated in the past, we are using that data to train the machine and to learn the machine. So we are building machine learning models. On the basis of that, machine will going to predict some value for the future. And on the basis of that, we can able to decide that which thing is going and in which direction. So basically, Humans, we have a limited memory, we have a fatigue factor, we can't work into 24 into 7. But if you train our machine in this way, then it will be beneficial for the human as well. We can do a lot of work with the help of this machine learning. So why we are preferring it and why it is so common nowadays? Basically, machine learning is a statistical approach and it will help us to build between the relationship between the input and output. So past and the future production can be possible with this. All the government agencies are collecting lot of data nowadays. Information from the data is used for taking the major decisions in the business as well as in the government like sector or in the political decision as well. At the low levels in the organization, data is used for the different reporting tasks. At high level, database perspective and predictive analytics can be done. So for these above four tasks, machine learning is the best option that can able to handle the predictive and prescriptive analytics both. So that's why it is very common and very popular technique nowadays. So if we talk about the type of machine learning, so basically we have major two types in the machine learning. One is the supervised and next one is the unsupervised. So what is the major difference between these two? Supervised, the word stands for that there is a trainer, but unsupervised, it gives the significance that we are not having labeled or trainer available in the unsupervised. See here, supervised learning is where you have input variable and output variable and you use an algorithm to learn the mapping function from input to output. The basic goal is to map the function so that we can able to predict the new input on the basis of past data. This is what supervised machine learning. But in case of unsupervised, we are not having any labeled data. We are having raw data. It is not the labeled one. And from our experience, from our observation, we are going to predict or classify the data using that knowledge. So see the visual example of the supervised machine learning first and go with the unsupervised. See, there is an input raw data. This image is what it is a raw data that we are going to put for the machine learning model. So in a supervised machine learning approach, we have a trained data set when desired output, मतलब actual output or the target output. So we are checking out the match between these two. So what we are doing here, we are giving our machine learning model here. And after that, we are training our model. And after training, whatever the input we are going to give the machine learning model, it provides us the output. So we have a trained data set. We have a desired output that we are labeled one. When this model or when this algorithm is training, it will give us the output. So under this, we have a proper system. We have a supervisor. We are having a training labels on the basis of we are getting the desired output. But in case of, so let's discuss unsupervised as well. But in case of unsupervised, see there is a no training data, no label is available here, no label, no training data. And output is also not target output is also unknown. So we are not learning from any teacher or any labeled or any directed output is there. No, it is not there in case of unsupervised learning. So what we will do, we will provide the machine raw data to the machine learning algorithm. The algorithm itself learned from the data. Basically, this is the clustering type of task that can be handled using the unsupervised machine learning. So now go with one by one. So in case of, I think everyone is clear with the supervised and unsupervised machine learning. So go with the one by one. So we start with the supervised learning. So first we have, basically we have two kinds of problems. Let me show you. Just wait. Basically, we have two type of problems: regression or prediction, and second one is the classify. So these are the two main problems. Regression is what we are going to predict. We are going to give some numerical value. And second one is that we are having some classes, we want to distinguish with one or two. So that kind of the problem that we are going to solve with the machine learning approach. Okay, so first we are seeing the problem with the classification problem. See, there is a graph. It has two classes. It indicates the income and saving. On the basis of income and saving, it has categorized the high risk and low risk. Income and saving, high risk and low risk. So these are the number of points. So what is our work? We have to differentiate these two from one another. Means we are having two classes. We need a discriminant that can able to distinguish between the low and high class profiles. So that's why we are using the classification problem. Classification means there are two classes, class 1 and class 2. We have to make a boundary line using the machine learning that can able to differentiate between these 2 points. We can also use the pattern recognition. Using this, we can also apply the face recognition, character recognition, medical diagnosis. We can use the classification problem. The next one is the regression problem. The regression problem is different from the classification. We are not having any categorical data here. We are having a numerical data in this. And the numerical data, we are going to predict the values based on that numerical figure. For example, price of a used car. So X contributes to the X car attributes and Y contribute to the price. So we are making this line on the basis of the data that we have already. So this is the formula Y is equal to WX plus W0. So on the basis of that, we are drawing a slope, and that slope will help us to find out the best predicted value for the coming the next output that we want to know. So basically, regression is a numerical based problem. We will do some sort of prediction here, and prediction we are learning from the past behavior and past data we have. So where we can apply these, we can apply in the weather forecasting, sale forecasting, advertising, the budget allocation, product pricing, and many more. So these are the two problems that we can handle in the supervised machine learning. So unsupervised machine learning, we are having different approaches. There are number of models, but we are stick with the supervised machine learning during this session. So basically, I am giving you one idea. As in the picture, we have seen that there is raw data and they have different complexity as well, different attributes in the raw data. So what unsupervised machine learning going to do? It will differentiate these on the basis of certain models and certain algorithms. We have a clustering algorithms, KNN, K-means, and different other approaches like hierarchical clustering, HHM, PCA. So we have a number of things. So we are going to implement the supervised machine learning approaches here. And before starting with the project, we are learning the basic steps that we will follow during the machine learning model. So it is a 7-step process, steps in building the machine learning model. The first is the problem formulation. Second one is the data tidying. Third one is the pre-processing. Fourth one is the train test split. Fifth one is the model building. Sixth one is the validation and model accuracy. And seventh one is the prediction. So step by step, we will understand problem formulation. So whenever we want to apply the machine learning in any problem, we need to find out it is a classified problem or it is a regression problem. So first of all, we need to understand, we need to have some raw data that we will use during the training process. So first of all, convert your business problem into a statistical problem in case we have a large amount of data in the form of Excel, CSV, JSON, or web-based. So we need to find out that problem. So then we define out the various attributes that we have in our data set so that we can able to relate and we can able to figure out so how we need to process upon that. Identify whether you want to predict or whether you want to do some analysis on the regression basis. So next is the data tidiness. So I'm showing here what do you mean by data tidiness? Because the raw data that we collected from number of ways, it is not on in the formatted or the format that we need for the machine learning. So that's why we need to pre-process the data. Tidiness is seen here. So see here in the country we have some values here, in the year we have some values here, in the cases we are having different values here, but see here in the next column we have M for the gender and next 0 to 14 others are for the variations for the age. So we are not able to differentiate. So first column, you can able to see the column M014. What it indicates, M indicates for the gender and 0 to 14 indicates for the age group. So in the previous data, we are not able to identify what does it mean. So after the pre-processing, we can able to relate the information. So similarly, we need to perform the data pre-processing before doing or implementing any machine learning model. So for the data pre-processing, we have number of options. We can filter the data. We can aggregate or sum up the values. We can treat the missing value. We can remove the outliers. We can transform the variable to multiple dimensions. We can do the column reduction or variable reduction as well, depend upon the problems. After that, when we have finalized our data set, then the next thing is we need to do the training and testing part. So for training, we need to split the entire data set into number of parts. For example, we can divide into 80-20 ratio, 75-25, 60-40, 70-30. It depends that what quality of data you have and in which portion you want to divide your data. Maximum data we will choose for the training part, and the some amount of data we will select for the testing part, so that we know that whatever the actual results, so when we test our data, we will find out how close we are and how accurate our model is. So this is what the basically a mathematical model that we used in the regression purposes. So y is equal to fx. Fx is that function that will able to calculate the output for us. So once we have done with the training and testing part, then we need to check the accuracy and performance of our model and validate that model. For this, we are using number of factors, we are using number of equations, we are using number of algorithms here. So last, we will test for the real-time data. So whatever the performance of this particular model, it is providing us the accurate result or at what level we are, how much close we are to the target. So this is what basically we will going to implement in our model today.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hanji sir.
One participant raised hand. I think there is one query related to this present ongoing PPT. Dear
Sir,
participant, if you have any question, please feel free. You can unmute
sir,
your
they
mic and
said
then
they said my voice is not clear. Is it so?
yeah, voice is very clear, ma'am.
Okay.
Someone has one query.
Sir, query. No,
Yeah,
sir.
Techno
I'm
Common,
not.
you can unmute your mic. If anyone have question, you can unmute your mic. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Please carry on.
Okay, sir. So now I start sharing my code screen. Okay. So in between, I will share some other concepts also that is related to the model implementation. So before starting with that, so let's discuss what problem we are choosing today. So today I'm choosing the customer churning problem, and with the help of machine learning, I'm going to solve this problem. So let's discuss the raw data we have. This is the number of attributes we are having. We are having the row ID, the customer ID, the surname of the customer, just wait, the credit score, geographical area, gender, age, tenure, balance, number of products, has a credit card, is active member, expected salary, exited or not. So this is the raw data that we have taken from the Google. On the basis of that, we are using the customer churning prediction using the number of machine learning models. So what we are going to do, what is the basic idea for this project is that we have a data for the different customers, and on the basis of judgment of that behavior, we need to classify that this particular person will continue with that or will exit the product. So no more required for that or not. We will continue with that so that we can able to offer some options like we provide some other discount on the basis of we provide them some sales option. So we can able to take the decision on the basis of these outputs. Okay, so first start with the project. We have discussed about the data set. Now we will see whatever the number of libraries we need to implement this model. So let's start. We need the pandas that we have discussed yesterday also. Pandas, NumPy, Seaborn, Matplotlib. So these are the some other libraries that we need to learn the machine learning model. So we are implementing logistic regression. We are implementing decision tree here. We are implementing random forest here. We are implementing sport vector machine and KNN classifier. So for this, we are using these libraries. I will discuss it one by one. So first we have sklearn.preprocessing import label encoder. For this, we need to label our class in the form of 0 and 1. That's why I need this one. The second, model selection. And under this, we need to bifurcate our data into the training and test class. So that's why we write here from sklearn.model_selection import training_test_split. This will help us to divide our data into the two random parts. The next is the sklearn.linear model and logistic regression. Linear model, under linear model, we are implementing logistic regression. And the next model and the next library we need from the sklearn is the naive Bayes, and it is a Gaussian based approach. The next is the implementation of decision tree classifier. So for this, sklearn.tree import decision tree classifier. And other approaches are sklearn.ensemble import a random forest classifier. This is the library we need to use the function written under this for implementing the machine learning model. So from sklearn.neighbors, we need kneighbor classifier. And from sport vector machine, we need sklearn svm import svc. And we have some other ensemble learning approach that we used here, the XGBoost and XGB. And to check the accuracy of our model, we are implementing these also. So sklearn import matrix. Under matrix, we are using the accuracy score, AUC, confusion matrix, RUC, ROC, and recall. These are the accuracy metrics that we are using to check the productivity performance of our model. Okay, so these are the libraries that is required. For this, we need to implement, just wait. If you want to import these libraries, you need to install, I'm writing the command here, you can note it down, pip install sklearn. You need to install this first, and pandas, numpy, seaborn, matplotlib, this is also required. And you need to do the pip install sklearn one library. You also need pip install XGBoost. So these are the main packages that you need to install before importing it into your project. Okay, so let's start with this. So library part is done. So now we will done with the data uploading. So for the data uploading, because we are using one CSV file, so pandas is the best option. So we will read the files into the data frame with the help of pandas library here. So we will write pd.read_csv, and this is the file that we need to upload here because I am using the current library. So see here in my library, this CSV file is available here. That's why I have written only in quotes the file name dot extension CSV. If we have file located somewhere else, we need to write here complete path. For example, C colon / data folder / different folder / so we need to insert the path here. Otherwise, you will get an error here because this file will read from the path where this file is located. So either you can put that file into your folder and use the as it is, otherwise you need to put the particular path. So once you have complete this set, so you need to check what data frame is uploaded after this loading of your data. So once we have done with this part, we will see this is the sample data set. This is the sample data set that we have in our data set. So it will provide you the first 5 and last 5. All number of rows provided here. Row number, customer ID, surname, address, credit score, all this information is provided here. Okay, so if you want to check what data we have, we want to do some kind of basic data analysis. So we will see here df.shape. So in df.shape, we will see here it will return the number of column is 14 and the number of rows is 10,000. So we have 10,000 rows and 14 columns in our data set. Okay, if you want to check what are the rows, what are the data type in that, what are the nature of data, so we need to check df is the data frame dot info. We need to type df dot info. So from that we will able to understand this is the particular index, this is the column name, and this is the column type, and this is the data type for our column. So you can able to understand that it is integer, it is object, it is float, it is string. So we can able to understand that what is the data type of this data set. Okay. So if you want to go for the checking of the miss value or any tidy or untidy data we have. So yesterday we have also discussed this is null function. Is null function will provide you the count of values that we have not in the format of null values. So missing value information we can track from here is null dot sum. So see here we are having the 14 columns and everyone is saying that 0, 0, 0. It indicates that we are having no null values in the data set. If it is having, so we need to treat that as with the help of drop NA or fill NA or some other options. Okay, so now we need to check the classification of this because we have one excited score that will provide us the customer churning behavior. 0 indicates that customer left us, 1 indicates that customer is available with us. So out of from 10,000, see here 0 for the 7963 are the 0 and 2037 are the customers that are exited us. Okay, so yesterday we will do the descriptive statistic. So we will do it again, whatever the basic statistic value for our data set df dot describe. So under this we will able to understand the count of the number of rows, mean value, standard deviation, minimum value, maximum value, quartile ranges. So we are getting for this all the columns. So we can able to understand the deviation where our data is probably placed. So under this, we have check out the basic descriptive analysis of our data set. So now we will check, is their value unique or we have any duplicate values. So for this, we will run this command n unique data frame dot n unique. So you will get the figures. It indicates that these are the number of unique values in our data set. Okay. To check the number of columns, we just write df dot columns. It will provide you all the columns that is available in our data set. Okay. To start checking the machine learning models. So we will first understand the data behavior, data distribution. For this, we are using the C1 library. And there is one function in the C1 library, that is the pair plot. Pair plot, it will provide you the pairing of all the column versus all the columns. It means it provide, for example, we are having 14 columns, so it will give you the 14 into 14 graph. So it will provide you the data with the relevancy, for example. So here, just wait. For example, we have is active member. So is active member with the row number, is active member with the customer ID, with the credit score, with the age, with the tenure, with the balance. So it will give us the closer look of the data. So we can able to identify the dependent and independent variables using this pair plot. So we can understand that what rows we can able to compare or we can able to check. So, so after that, again we are checking out our first 5 rows of the data set. So we are putting here head, and in the bracket we are putting value. It means it will display the first 5 rows. Okay. From the pair plot, we have understand some of the column relationship and attribute relationship, and we will figure out in the form of graphs. We are visualizing our data. For example, under this, we are checking out the geographical area and the estimated salary, and on the basis of gender. It means we have male and female, two genders here, and on the basis of that we are finding out in which geographical area what is the estimated salary and what dominant factor here. So under this we are getting this output. Let's see this output. Under this output we see that we are having 3 geographical locations: France, Spain, and Germany. And there are 2 indicators, light for the female and dark for the male. This is the expected estimated salary. So this is the estimated salary. So we can able to judge out the maximum estimated salary is nearer to approximately 1 lakh, and male and female ratio is mostly balanced in the France and Germany. We have little variation in the Spain only. So we can able to understand that we have equal number of male and female participation during the customer. So we have all these availability. So we can check out these are the exited or available customer in our system. So we have one more relationship that we have taken on the basis of age and estimated salary, because if a person having the age of 5, age of 16, then their estimated salary is very, very less. So it means age is a factor on which we have to check out the behavior. If age is about 70 or 80, then probably that we are losing that customer. So we can think out that if that customer is losing, what opportunity or what option we can providing them. So in this way, we can visualize this relationship between this graph, age versus estimated salary. See that we are putting age from 18 to 92 and estimated salary here. So whenever the person is 18, they has the less number of salary and a little hike during up to the age of 70, and there is a certain fall also in the age after the age of 70, and very few have the estimated salary at the age of 84 and something else. So we can figure out these clients, so we can work on that. So it will help us to find out the decisions that we can able to take for getting this customer joined with us. Okay, so next visualization that we have age and exited. It means we are finding out the pattern here, on which age pattern that customer is joining us and at which page pattern customer is exiting us. So this is the common behaviors here. So exiting and ages. So we have a graph here. So we can able to visualize that after the age of 50, 60, the rate is declining. So at the 18, we are growing up to the age of 60. And after 60, some of the persons start declining. So these are the factors that we are counting that we will able to make in our machine learning project. Okay. So next we have taken the relationship between the age, gender, and the estimated salary. So we have two gender bases here, male and female, and we say that it is probably almost equal number of participants in the both areas. So it will reflect any more in our decision basis. So we will see also that gender is one more relationship, visualizing that gender is taken and balance. So whatever the balance amount that have in their account, so it also reflect that that person will able to buy or will able to be a customer in some organization or not. So we are checking out their salary expenses as well in this graph. So if you want to work on that, I forget to display this also. So this we are using the bar plot, and basically we are using the bar plot here. Basically we are using the bar plot, the same function we are calling for all the methods, bar plot. And I will explain this, how this bar plot work. In this we need to give out the x and y axis and the column name that we want to represent for the x and y. Color is the optional one. If you are not giving it, it will provide you the default color. And we need to provide it out the data from where it will pick out. So we need to refer our data frame. So in this way, we can call all these bar plot functions. And we are over here. Yes. Now we will check out yes, we are here. So estimated salary we have taken on the basis of ages. Then we are finding out the relation between the age and number of products, because if we are young or in the middle age, we need larger number of products. But whenever we are in the declining age, so we are start using or consuming less number of products. So it is also the one of the factor. So we can see if the person is at the growing age or at the declining age, the demand is vary for different persons, because at the growing age we need some laptop, we need some mobile, but at the declining age our requirements, our products are changed. So we need to think about that. If the person is declining due to the age factor, so what options we can made available for them to retain that person. So these are the number of factors that we have seen in our project. Similarly, there is one relationship between the number of products and the estimated salary as well. So we can see that we are having the different category of product, and if we have the estimated salary up to this level, so we are rising in the number of sales. So we can see that the product 4 has the increased number of customer and the product 1 has the least number of the customers. So similarly, there is one more relationship basis on the ages and the tenure. Tenure, how much longer tenure that customer is stick to or attached to us. So age is also the factor of that, because when we are in the growing age, we are looking for some brands, and we are in the declining age, then we are going more prone to the comfort or easy zone. So it also matters. If the customer behavior is changed, age must be one of the factor. Gender must be one of the factor, estimated salary must be one of the factor, and one more option. If a person is not having that much salary scale, so we can offer the credit options also that, so we can also visualize on that basis. So next graph we are plotting here, that is on the basis of is active member and geographic area and the gender. What does it indicate? That is that particular person is still with us. If it is there, so what is the geographical location of that person? So is gender, how many males and females are connected with right now. So we can see that Germany has more number of participants. Spain has more number of participants with respect to male and female, and Germany has the least, and France has the equal number of male and female participants that are the active members. Okay, so We will also see is active member exited is taken on by our exit. So how many active member is leaving us? So we are also putting the graph over here. So we can finding out that customer churning behavior is expected on the basis of we will find out on the male and female basis. So they are leaving us or they are still active on the basis of what we are predicting this one. So one more behavior we are looking for is active member and the estimated salary, because if the person wants to buy some product, so we need to looking for the, for example, if we have one laptop, we want to sell that laptop, so we need to figure out the expected salary of the person from which we are offering that particular product. So we need to find out the relationship between the estimated salary and gender, and is it the active member. So if it is the active member having the estimated salary, so we are raising some off for sale so that person will be able to buy that option. So that decision machine learning will help us to take out and look out the this type of uh, availability of the attributes. We can find out or having the looking for the relationship between these attributes. There is one more options that we have has credit card, because if we are having good salary or we are not having good salary but we are having the credit card option, then we can go for buying that product. So we can looking out that that person is available with us and not exiting. If person is exiting us because of the money factor, so we can provide it as the facility of the credit card or EMI, so that the person will remain stick to us and buying our product as well. So similarly, we put a number of factors from our data set that relate us with the customer churning process. So we can finding out, we can correlate these relationship, and we can finding out that we can decide which factor will count us in using in the production for the machine learning. Okay, so now we will, on the basis of that, we will finding out that we have certain relationship, age and geographical area, age and gender, age and estimated salary, age and is active member, has credit card. So we are figuring it out here. So we will categorize two columns here. There is one variable we are choosing here, category columns. So we choose two category columns. So this category column is the geography and the gender. So I'm calling here the label encoder. What it will do, it will provide the label 0 and 1 to the rest of the data that we have just used. So for this, LE is the object that I have created for the label encoder. So I have called the model here fit underscore transform for the data frame DFI. So it will find out all the rows one by one. It will check out the category under this, and automatically this label encoder will finding out the value for the 0 and 1. So it will provide it as the label as well. So it will automatically categorize your labels. For example, in the geographical area, we are having three values, the Spain, France and Germany. So if it is 2, it will give you the label 0 and 1. Because we are having, it will give you the label 0, 1, 2. It is automatically basis. We have not decided or we are not providing it the that particular thing. So every it is automatically decided by this class label encoder. So once we executed this stat, so all the data, the categorical data into the numerical data, we are converting using this label encoder. Okay, so again, we are checking out what are the number of keys that we have in our data set. Or earlier we have checked the columns. The keys are the same, that is the value of the column name. So again, we will see that all the columns are reverted back whenever we are check for the column keys. Okay, so whenever we have checking out the relationship between the various parameters in this data set, we have seen that row number, customer ID, and surname. These three are not required for our analysis. I'm showing you the data again. Just wait. Yes, row number, customer ID, and surname. We are not using in any analysis or any comparison chart during the data visualization. So we will see that we use the credit score, geography, gender, age, tenure, balance, number of product, has credit card, is active, estimated salary, and exited. So I already told you in the previous session that whenever we are loading a data for the calculative pursuit in the machine learning or various other models, so if we have the larger number of computation, the time will be more. So to minimize the time, we are dropping out the unnecessary data columns that we are not using in the analysis part. So that's why we are dropping these three columns, drop row number, drop customer ID, drop surname. Why I'm dropping these? Because I'm not using these into my data column. Okay, so after dropping this, I'm again visualizing the relationship between the data that we need for modeling purpose. So we see we are providing here the number of rows and columns. We said we need 2 rows and 5 columns. See there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are plotting the number of crops in simple area. So figure is the object, ax is the object, and from the subplot, this is the function subplot. And with this function in the Python, we can able to plot multiple graph under this. So we are having 2 rows, row number 0, row number 1. We are having 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's why I have we written rows is equal to 2 and columns is equal to 5. So we are allotting these n rows is equal to row, n column is equal to columns. This is the figure size 16 by 4. So we have chosen all the columns because we have removed 3 columns. So whatever the left of all this column, and we are plotting it here in the dist plot. Dist plot is the distribution plot. We are calling here the dist plot from the Seaborn library, DISTPLOT. This dist plot is providing us the distribution plot so we can able to find out the pattern. See, density for the credit score of the customer, geographical area, gender basis, age, tenure, and we can able to visualize the graph patterns, balance of data, money, number of products. We are having 4 category in the product, has card, is active member, and the estimated salary. So this plot will provide us the actual distribution of the data points in our data set. Okay, if we see, do we have any other thing that we are not using in our data set? So we are dropping one more column, that is the exited. So because we need to finding out this pattern that this particular person is our exited or the is active member. So we are dropping this here. We are splitting the data now in the form of uh, the training and test afterwards. So again, after dropping these 4 columns that we are not using in our data set, this is the rest of the data that we are looking for the modeling purpose. The credit score, geography, gender, age, tenure, balance, number of products, has credit card, is active member, and estimated salary. Once again, we will check out the head of this particular the excited state that we have just dropped. Okay, so now this is the part we have done with the first phase. We have uploaded our data set. We have done with the second phase, that is the data tidiness, and we have also done with the data pre-processing part. Now we are moving to the fourth part of our pipeline in the machine learning model, that we need to split the data into the training and test phase. So for this, I'm calling this function. This is the function that is inbuilt that we have already defined in the imported library. train underscore test underscore split. This is the function under sklearn. So for this, I'm partitioning the data into the 4 variables I'm assigning here: x underscore train, x underscore test, y underscore train, and y underscore test. They are the 4 variables, and the data is split in these 4 variables. So data is available in the x and y, and it will provided in these 4 variables. So we are distributing the data into the 80 or 20 portion. So whatever the data we have 10,000 rows. So 80% of rows will be goes for the training purpose, and 20% of the rows will goes for the testing purpose. So we are having the distribution of 80-20. So one more thing we are putting here is the random state. Random state means that we are having a random sample here. We are not putting, for example, a sequence number from 1 to 8,000 will be given for the training, and from 81 to 100 it will given to the testing. No, it is not like that. It will select the random sample here. For random sample, we need to find out we need to give this variable. So whatever the distribution of this, if you want to see how many training and test and the shape of that, then we can write that the x train shape, x test shape, y train shape, and y test. It will provide you the variables in that. For the x, we are having 8,010, and for the y testing, we are having 2010. Okay, so first machine learning model we are going to build now, that is the logistic regression. So before starting this, I want to share one, just wait, just give me a minute. There is number of links. I will provide you some of the links in my slide also. So we will explain little about these models that we are going to implement in this data set. So linear and logistic regression. We are having two systems here, linear and logistic. And these are the regression is the prediction problem, that we are having some data and we are putting some slope over here. We are partitioning the data into the two part. On the basis of that, we are going to predict it will under the fall 0 or 1 category. So under this, we are having, there are two systems, linear or non-linear. Linear or non-linear means that if our data is under this category, that we can able to divide our data into the two parts. We can able to divide our data into the two parts. This is one and this is the second part. So we can draw a line and we can divide the data parts, or we can do the prediction, the best possible prediction. This is the linear data, where we can separate the data points on the basis of one straight line or a slope. But sometimes we have a data under this kind of things that all the points are not linearly separable. See, there are green and red points, and some of the green points are there, one red point is this, and one red point is this. So there is not a single line can able to part can able to part this data. So what we need, this is because this problem is not a linear one. The second problem is a non-linear one. Non-linear means there is not a straight line that able to differentiate this green and red points. So if the data distribution like this, so it is a non-linear problem. So it is a non-linear problem. So in case of non-linear, we need logistic regression. Linear regression is not able to do work or part this data. So what we need, so we need to perform the logistic regression. So this is the S-shaped curve. So this is a S-shaped curve. So that will able to differentiate the non-linearity in this data set. So this is the linear regression that can able to classify the points into the two regions, region 1 or region 2. But if we have the non-linear problem, then we need to go with the logistic regression instead of linear regression. So again, we will go back to the code. So now we are implementing the logistic regression here because it is not a linear problem. So we are implementing the logistic regression here. So one more thing I want to tell about this. If you want to learn about the machine learning mathematics, so mathematics definitely, if we talk about mathematics, so we need to understand the complete problem mathematics. But if you are not from the computer science or mathematics background, so it may be a little tricky or it may be little hard to understand this mathematic problem. But still, because machine learning is nowadays very popular technique, so everybody has a chance to grab it or to learn from it. So if you want to learn by Python or R tool, so you just forget about the basic mathematics, you just learn how to implement it, how to use in your problem, and just get it the result. If you are worried about math, then don't no need to do that. Just go with this function. You just need to understand what is the particular library from which particular machine learning model you are going to implement. You just learn the method and you just apply it. Your results will be there. So see here, the logistic regression is just called because of this one simple function. So what function I'm using here? Logistic regression. This is the function name that I'm calling here. Logistic regression. I have data set. I have cleaned my data set, pre-processed the data set, split the data set into the training and testing part. Now I am applying the model here. So model name is what? Logistic regression. Logistic regression. So logistic regression dot fit. This is the line you need to write, logistic regression dot fit. So what I am doing here, I am calling the logistic regression function. Mathematics is already written under this. We need not to write it. Dot fit method will work on my data, and data we need to provide here. We are using the training of this model here. So we need to provide the X train and Y train data points here. So what this model will do, it will do all the mathematics by automatically for this logistic regression, and result will be saved under this variable log reg, right? So once the training is completed, when the training is completed, now we need to check the next part, whether this model is going to predict now or the value. So we are doing the training on that. So after training, we are testing it. So for testing, we are writing here log reg dot predict. Why I use log reg here? Because the result of training model is put in here, this variable. So that's why I call here log underscore reg dot predict for the X test, similarly for the Y. So whenever we are checking this out, we are running the test cases now. Here we are training the model. Here we are testing the model. Here we are applying the model. So we choose the model, we train the model, and we test the model. Once we done with the training and testing part for our model, now we need to check the performance for our model. So for this, we have chosen number of matrices here. So first we have chosen the accuracy score. So accuracy score provide us the what are the Y test and what are the test predict, means what are the actual Y test and what are the test predicted by our model. So after this, we can finding out the what is the actual accuracy for our model. Similarly, there is one ROC. ROC is what? I'm showing you all the classified matrices here. Just wait. Yes. So I'm providing you, I'm also giving you the links for this, don't worry at all. So these are the matrices that are used for the performance matrix checking. So we can evaluate the performance of our model on the basis of these. We can use any one. It is not required every time we need to use AUC, ROC, or precision, recall, F1 score, accuracy. It depends. So it depends on the problem where we can satisfy. So ROC is what? Receiver operating characteristic curve. It will provide you this information, the true positive and false positive. This kind of curve can be made. So there is one more area under curve, the ROC curve. It will provide you the total number of points that will cover under this. It is also the main precise accuracy rate for your model. So there are number of factors. There is one confusion matrix as well. So confusion matrix is, I'm showing you the example like this. So total number of cases, total true, total negative, false positive, and false. The ratio of this is known as the confusion matrix. There is one more we are using here, the kappa score. So it is a performance matrix that will provide us how accurate our model is. So this is the formula for the kappa score, but we need not to worry about the mathematics part. We just understand that we can able to implement it, right? So now back to the problem. So we are using all these matrices. So first we see this, we are calling the ROC underscore AUC underscore score. So this is the matrix ROC AUC score. So we can finding out Y train and X train. So it will give us the total number of points that cover under this particular graph. Okay, so confusion matrix, we can finding out the X and Y test products, we can checking out the accuracy for the confusion matrix. So see, there are just functions. For the model, we are using this. For training, we are using this. For testing, we are using this. For accuracy, we are using accuracy underscore score. For ROC, AUC score, we are using this function. For confusion matrix, we are using confusion underscore matrix. So these are the parameters that we are using for measuring the performance of our model. So kappa score is also there, matrix dot cohesion underscore kappa underscore score. So when you see after the training, so see that the model accuracy is 78%. On the training, model accuracy on the test is 80%. So ROC, the ROC curve that has provided us the 50% accuracy score. And for the training and testing, this score is normal 51, 51 for the both. So this is the confusion matrix. That 6201146551550103. This is the confusion matrix for test and train. So wrong prediction is the 400. So we are having the from in the case of test, out of 2000 we are having 400 wrong prediction. So on the basis of that, our kappa score is there. It provides us that our model is 58% accurate. So this is the first model that we have applied in the customer journey problem. Okay. So now we will applying the second model. So this is the logistic regression. If we go with the mathematics, it is little tricky. But if you go with the implementation part, it is very, very easy. Everyone can do it. Just understand this function, how to write it, and whatever the parameter we need to pass. So it is very, very easy. You get the results. Okay, the next system that we are going to implement here, we are implementing the next supervisory learning approach, that is the naive Bayes. So basically, we will understand little bit about it. So let me share again this one. So naive Bayes, yes. So what is naive Bayes? It is a Bayesian-based, probability-based approach. It is a supervised learning algorithm based on the Bayes theorem. It is the probability-based theorem. Everyone we have heard about in the 10th or 12th standard or something, basically mathematics ground. They are very well known to this kind of term probability. So this algorithm is basically based on the Bayes theorem. This is the conditional probability. On the basis of that, if the probability of having this disease, this particular protection is under, if for example, just wait. For example, if we have calculated the probability is 70%. So if we are having the points that under true, so we will say the 70% that is particular belong to particular class. If we say it is the less than or below this, so we can say it is not belong to this. So we are probably working on the probability basis here. So just wait. So little bit working on the naive bias, we need to convert the given data set into the frequency table, that is into the 0 and 1, because it is used basically for the classifier purpose. It is not used for the regression. So this particular case can be applied for the classification problems. So now we will see. So this is the tool where we are using. So there are like this, there are number of websites where we can learn. So it can understand the particularly mathematics for this. For this, see, there is one case for the weather forecasting. So definitely it classify into the categorical data, yes or no. And after that it will see the weather forecast, the overall, the raining, sunny, so it classify at in the weather condition. So apply the probability factor here. So after getting the probability, the figure that it's given here, that is for example 0.3, 0.35, 0.71, we can able to categorize that particular day is a rainy or sunny or that. So similarly, the naive Bayes approach is working like that. We are using this probability as a conditional factor for selecting the or predicting the values in the machine learning model. So now see how to implement this approach. So for this, we are using the Gaussian naive Bayes approach. So we are calling this function naive Bayes, Gaussian naive Bayes. So again, I'm using the variable NB. So after that, I'm calling this nb.fit function for my data for the x and y train values. So after that, the training, we are going to give the prediction here. So we are using the nb.predict. So for the x train value. So for under this, we are doing the training part. And if you want to do the testing part, so we are using the test data here. Here, nb.predict we are passing for the training. Here, nb.predict we are passing for the testing phase. So once we are doing the training and testing of this model, again, we are checking out the performance metrics for this naive Bayes. So again, accuracy score same. We are putting the y factor here, y train values and train predicts value. That is we are getting for our model. And similarly for the testing, y test and the test predicts for the next thing. So similarly, we are getting out the accuracy score for the naive Bayes. So it is very, very simple. So see, the same thing is used here, the accuracy score, ROC, AUC score, the confusion matrix, no formula is changed here. The kappa score, no formula is changed here. We are just calling the function, and what values we are putting in this function is just the data set values that we have used for the training and that we have used for the testing. The same thing we are putting here for checking out the performance for our model. So this is the naive Bayes classifier. We call this function Gaussian naive Bayes. Model.fit we are checking for, we are passing the training and test cases here. Then we are checking out, we are training the model here, nb.predict, we are passing the training parameter here. Then we are testing the parameter here. So after the training and testing will done, so it will provide you the this performance matrix. So if you see, whenever we are working on this naive Bayes approach, this model will provide you the 78% training and 79% test cases. And our performance is little bit more than the previous one because ultimate it was the 58% in the kappa score, but this time it is the 62%. So we can see that the naive Bayes approach is better than the logistic regression here. So we can apply the all different models. We can check out where our performance better. We can also hyper tune that one, so we can visualize according to that. So I think this is clear. So now we will work on the next model. So implementing the machine learning is not very tricky. But if you want to hyper tune the parameter, we need to work on that. But otherwise, it is very simple. You can just remember what functions is required, how to split the training test, what to call, how to perform the matrix or accuracy score. So it is very simple as well. So next approach we are learning here, it is the decision tree. So I will show one slide also here to finding out what is decision tree. Just wait. This is the decision tree algorithm. So decision tree is what? It is about basically daily routine task. For example, I want to invest for some funds. So I will check out either I do it or either I don't do. If I proceed with the don't, so I need to think about I stop over there. But if I go with the I will do or do some spending over there, then I need to find it out. So what amount, how many months? So we need to figure out that. So this is basically is the decision tree is. So we have to make a decision. We move down to the hierarchy and we will check out if either go with the tree one or go with the tree two. So we are having the number of options. So tree one having different options, tree two having different options, and if we move further downward, our options also change. So whatever the last option we choose, that will be the value we are going to predict. So why we are using this decision tree? Because sometimes we are having complex problems, we need to figure out or we need to go with the hierarchy drop down so we can finding out. So see there, this is one example. Salary is between 50 to 80,000. If yes, office near to home, or decline the offer. If your salary is between this, you are getting one new offer, you can able to decline because the salary you are getting, your choice is near to home. If you select the more higher salary, then more, maybe possible that that place will not be near to your home. So you have chosen two option, either you will select that one or you will decline the offer. Okay, the next option you are checking if it is nearer to home, so it will it provide the cab facility. If it provide the cab facility, we put down further. Otherwise, we will reject the offer. So decision tree is working like this. If we have select the first decision, then we go down until the last option will come. So we'll choose the selection as well. So this way decision tree will work, and decision tree will help us to looking out the various option during the machine learning process, and we will finding out. So this is the formula that we are using in the decision tree. We are actually calculating the entropy here. So what is entropy? There is a formula written over here. Number of years log. So just wait. So this is the formula. Actually, because there is a missing in this formula because we need a division over here. So maybe some other sites will provide you the accurate formula here. So this is the basically formula for the entropy. We are calculating the entropy value here for all the steps in this decision tree, and for all the yes we are positive sign, for all the no we are having negative sign. We here minus p. So minus p means negative sign. Negative sign means whenever we are choosing the no option. So basic of this, if the probability value is varying under this case, so we can move down according to the tree. So this is the decision tree option. So we can see now in the code how to implement this. So decision tree, again, I'm also repeating the same thing that we know which function is used for calling this. So decision tree classifier, remember this, D is capital here, T is capital here, C is capital here. So decision tree classifier dot fit. So we are providing the variables here x and y. So after that, because I'm using the variable dt here, that is assigned for the decision tree classifier. So I'm calling here dt dot predict, and the values I'm passing here the x train. Okay, similarly for the testing, dt dot predict x test. Okay, so on the basis of that, we can able to check that this is for your training and testing phase for the decision tree classifier. So once your model is trained fully, you can able to check for the accuracy score, ROC score, confusion matrix, and for your kappa score. So see again, all the methods are just same. We are just passing out the variables after the model testing. The white train and the train products. White train and the train products. So in this way, we can able to check out this. The model accuracy is so 1.00 means 100%. So it indicates that this decision tree is overfitting here. Overfitting means all the points that is framed under the data set is covered by this tree and it provides you the accurate result. So which is not at all possible. So it means this is a case of clear case of overfitting. So there is one more classifier that is the advanced version of decision tree. We call it as the random forest classifier. It is providing us the solution for the overfitting of the decision tree. So first understand what is random forest classifier. Random forest classifier. Yes. So decision tree is just one tree. So on the basis of that, if we have chosen the wrong path, there is no option for the backtrack. So that's why there is some problem with the decision tree or there is a problem for the overfitting as well. So in case of random forest, we have number of decision tree. We have a forest of decision tree. That's why we call it as the random forest. So see here, we are having training data 1, 2, and n points. We are having n number of decision tree. So we are running n number of decision trees parallelly. So after that, we are checking out the average number of voting of these tree. So whatever the average accuracy. So if you have 10 trees and 4 trees are telling you about that the decision is wrong and 6 trees are telling about this decision is right, so we will go with the yes option because majority average of the trees are saying us this is correct option. So that's why the random forest has the better opportunity or better accuracy over the decision tree. So that's why, because we are not using the single decision tree, we are using the multiple decision tree. So it has the better accuracy as compared to the decision tree. So same here, we are using here the same concept here. So see, there is a one instance, we are having one tree, we are having two decision tree, we are having n number of decision tree. So first decision tree tell about that this is belong to class A, and second also belongs to class A, but some trees are said that they are belong to class tree, but we are checking out the majority. We are checking out the voting of the majority of decision tree and we are finalizing the class upon that. So basically this is also used for the classification problem. So we have understood the concept. So now again we are going with the code for the decision tree implementation in the case of random forest. So random forest classifier basic concept we understood now. So we understand that random forest classifier is the method. So method is what? Random forest classifier. Again, visualize it. R is capital here, F is capital here, C is capital here. So it is the random forest classifier. So random forest classifier dot fit. We are calling this function. We are putting the X and Y parameter here and store the resulting variable RF. So similarly, we start the training of this model and we are testing the model. Rf.predict for the testing and rf.predict for the training as well. So once the model is trained and test, we will finding out the performance using the accuracy score, ROC score, confusion matrix, and the kappa score. So once we are running this code and we are putting, I have run this code just by today. So that's why I'm not running again and again. I will provide you all the data related to the data and this Jupyter notebook and the presentation that providing you the link so that you can understand and learn it better. So we will see now earlier in the decision tree, the accuracy is the 100%, but now we if check out in the random forest, it is the 87% in case of test and 100% in case of training. So ROC is what? 1 or 73%. So this is the confusion matrix. So we will see that the random forest is the best option because in the previous one, if we visualize it, there is 417 wrong and 400 wrong. So, but in case of random forest, we are left with the only 259 wrong participation, wrong entries. So it means our model accuracy is improving using these different machine learning algorithms. Okay, so this is the next one is the k nearest neighbor. So this is not belong to the supervised machine learning. It is basically a unsupervised machine learning approach. Basically, it is a classification problem, clustering problem. So it will cluster the points with respect to the different behavior accordingly. So what it will do, we just need to call upon the k nearest classifier. This is the function. So we just add a number k here, then we write a neighbors n capital, classifier c capital. So k neighbor classifier dot fit. So after doing this, we are calling the prediction function for the training and for the testing as well. Similarly, we are checking out the scores for all these: accuracy score, ROC score, confusion matrix, and kappa score. We will see that again the number of wrong prediction is more here, but we are getting the minimum in case of random forest. So in this way we can see that we are having number of machine learning algorithms, but with the different machine learning algorithm, we need to check out which problem is best fit for particular problem. So we are checking out the accuracy where the performance is better. We can choose that particular model for our option. So one more we have the sport vector machine. So first we will see what is sport vector machine. Sport vector, yes. So this is this example for the sport vector machine. So what is sport vector machine? So basically it is a non-linear problem. It is also used for the non-linear problem. So we have the category of the points. So what sport vector will do? What sport vector do? This is the line that is going to separate these two planes, and this is the margin. This is the minimum distance from this point. This sport vector is what? This area, this point is known as the support vector that can able to marginalize this area and finding out the areas that will able to distinguishes these two classes. So this area, this is known as the sport vector plane. This is known as the sport vector plane. It means this providing us to the marginal values. So see, there is the minimum maximum margin. This is the positive hyperplane. So this boundary dotted line, these are the support vectors. So what we are using here, we are calculating some values that will providing us to the line that is marginal boundary cases value, so that we can able to finding out if you are going beyond this, then our class will be changed. So this support vector is the marginal values. These are the boundary values that will able to categorize or differentiate the different data points on the basis of this behavior. So again, we are implementing this. So for this, it is very, very easy. We are using the SVC, sport vector machine. So the function we are calling here SVC, because for this we are using the linear sport vector. So that's why the kernel is representing here is equal to linear. So we are calling here SVC. This is for the sport vector. Kernel is equal to linear. And we are again calling the sport vector machine dot fit for the train. and we are checking for the training purpose and for the testing purpose. So once the model is got trained, we are looking for the performance using the accuracy, ROC, confusion matrix, and kappa score. We have also used the recall score here, recalls here. So that's why we can able to finding out the performance of this model. So these are the various machine learning models that I have just discussed here. So everybody is able to understand the basic concept behind this, that we need to choose one problem, we need to learn the function that we need to call for a particular problem, and after that we can able to understand whatever the performance of these, we can able to check out the performance during the various matrices. So I'm not going to cover the rest of the part because it is come under the hypertuning part. So if you are not tuned with the machine learning, so it will be very, very tricky part. So I will conclude here. So if you have any doubts, if you want to ask any question, I am open. I'm concluding from my side. I request for if participants have any questions, you can ask now. Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you please reply questions in the chat box?
Okay, I will check. How you can understand this is a linear or non-linear problem? Okay, I will tell you. Just give me a second. Wait. So see, I'm giving you some graphs here. So there is some data points I'm writing here. There is some data points I'm writing here. If I can able to separate these two different points using one line, that is a linear line. So we can say that this is a linear problem. So I'm giving you one problem. We call it as the XOR problem here. XOR problem. Okay. I'm giving you one problem. So now is there any line that can distinguish it into the one line and differentiate two categories of point? No. This problem is known as the XOR problem. And how this XOR problem can be solved with the help of logistic regression. So we can provide a S-shaped curve here. So that can provide us to distinguish these points. So this kind of problem is known as non-linear problem, which cannot be separated by a single straight line or regression line. Any other problem?
I request all the participants.
So I find, ma'am, only one question. Is there any more questions?
I request to all the participants, if you have any queries, you can ask Upinder ma'am. I think no more queries are there.
Okay. No issues, ma'am. If they later on want to ask, I will provide you the solutions if they have any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dear participant, once more, if you have any question, please feel free to ask. You can unmute yourself and put your question. Either you can put your questions in the chat box also. Please don't hesitate, put your question. If you have any doubt, ma'am, on the behalf of one participant, I am asking one question because these days we can see that data science play very important role to study the data in various branches of sciences. But the thing is that person who is working in branch of health science,
Okay.
and those people are not familiar with the Python. So the thing is that if they want to use Python or for their study, so, as we know that there are various type of idols are there, platforms are there to use Python, but in the beginning they face a big challenge from where and they can easily start. So can you please explain this problem for the audience, because some of the participants are from all the participants are from different domain of sciences. So this will be helpful for all the other participants also.
So definitely, sir. Whenever we want to use, I'm opening one Google Colab. So for this, just you need a Gmail. You don't need any in system. So I'm just providing you. You just go on Google. You just type Google Colab. It is a whole laboratory provided by Google. So you can implement the Python here. Just whatever the notebooks I'm sharing you, uh, just you can go file and go with the upload option because internet is taking time. So it will provide you the see here. You can go to the file, upload the notebook, click on the upload notebook, browse from your system and give you the path, and it will open that file and you can able to upload that file and you can able to run that one as well. Whatever the ID is, your path, nothing you require, Google will automatically provide you all the setup behind these libraries. So it is very, very easy to use it for the Python because we have just ready to use functions. We are not required to do all the mathematical concept. First, you need to understand which model you are using, and it will provide you what type of result it is used for, best for classification or best for regression, that you need to notice out. So rest of the things will be provided under this. So no ID is required. So just upload the notebook here. You just, for example, I'm giving you the option. See here, this is the cell. Just click on this arrow, run. So it will run accordingly and give you the output. Entire code will be run. You need not to worry about any ID, any interface, any path setting, any library setting. But you need a Gmail and you need an internet connection. And there are links that I have already shown here, like the javapoint.com. If you want to learn this library, for example, this is the example for the naive Bayes classifier. If you go down and down, so there is a code written here, sir. So this is the point where we can import the libraries, how to check the data set, and from where library we need and which function we need to call. So just implement the entire code with the results is provided with the proper explanation. So we can learn. It is very, very easy nowadays. It is not as difficult as previous.
Okay, ma'am, one more question. All the libraries which are required for the data science and for the computing are available in this collaboratory?
Sir, Google Colab, we can use TensorFlow, we can use the deep learning, machine learning libraries, pandas, everything is available. If you are not having this one, you can just pip install, it will provide you, and you can save that one also.
Okay, if sometime library is missing in this
No,
platform
you can
collaborative,
install, you can
we can
install.
install just like
Yes, yes, yes,
Jupyter Notebook.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, but I think on this
All the
platform,
basic it provide, all the basic it provide.
okay.
Yes.
And this platform collaborative will work only on during if our system is connected with internet.
Yes,
But
internet is main thing. Internet is
okay,
required.
if someone want offline,
Offline, no, no. Google Colab cannot be used for
okay, in
offline.
that case, I think we have to install Python in our system.
Yes, yes. We need Jupyter Notebook.
Okay, Jupyter Notebook work offline or online?
Offline, offline.
Okay, ma'am.
We don't need any internet for the Jupyter Notebook unless until we need to install any library.
Okay, ma'am. Any more question, dear participant? If you have, please you can ask from our resource person. Okay, I think there is no more question. Over to you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, Maher sir, for asking some questions. And, thank you so much, Dr. Upinder ma'am. And on behalf of all the organizing committee, I'm glad to be here to express my thanks to you. And it has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. And I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to you. And you have taken very good session. It is very valuable session. If someone is working in the research area by using Python, Jupyter. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, one of you. Thank you.
Once again, ma'am, please share the feedback form link in the chat so that all the participant can access to fill the same. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time.
Thank you, sir.
And all the participants, I want to inform you about tomorrow's session.